The apartment feels too quiet on Sunday evenings. I stand by the window, watching the street below, waiting for that familiar black car to pull up. My heart pounds the same way it does every week, a mixture of dread and something else I refuse to name. In my arms, Miho clutches his favorite bunny, the one with the floppy ears that Jaewon won for him at the festival last spring. Back when we were still a family. Mama? Miho's tiny voice breaks through my thoughts. He's only 2, but sometimes I swear he understands everything. Papa coming? I force a smile, brushing my fingers through his soft black hair. Yes, baby. Papa's coming to get you for the weekend. His bottom lip trembles. My chest tightens. It wasn't supposed to be like this. When I first met Jaewon 3 years ago, I thought I'd finally found my place in the world. He was everything society said an alpha should be: strong, successful, protective. But he was also gentle with me in ways that made my omega instincts sing. Our bond formed naturally, inevitably, like 2 rivers flowing together. The night he marked me, I cried from happiness. His teeth in my neck, his scent wrapping around me like a blanket, the bond snapping into place like a key turning in a lock. Forever, he whispered against my skin. You and me, forever. I believed him. Then I got pregnant, and everything seemed perfect. Jaewon painted the nursery himself, pale yellow with tiny stars on the ceiling. He read parenting books, attended every doctor's appointment, held my hand through 17 hours of labor. When Miho was born, I watched this powerful alpha man cry as he held our son for the first time. He has your eyes, Jaewon said, pressing a kiss to my forehead. Our perfect little family. But perfection doesn't last. Not in the real world. The cracks started small. Jaewon working late more often. Me, exhausted from sleepless nights with a colicky baby, snapping over unwashed dishes. His mother's constant criticism of my parenting, suggesting I wasn't alpha enough to raise their grandchild properly. The pressure from his family to have me stay home, to be a traditional omega, when I'd just gotten promoted before the pregnancy. We started fighting. Real fighting, not just disagreements. Words became weapons. I accused him of caring more about his career than his family. He said I was pushing him away, refusing to let him help. Both of us were drowning, but instead of reaching for each other, we lashed out. The bond between us began to ache. That's what happens when mated pairs are in conflict. The connection that once brought comfort becomes a source of pain. Every argument felt like broken glass in my chest. I could feel his emotions bleeding into mine, and mine into his, creating a toxic feedback loop neither of us knew how to stop. The night everything shattered, Miho was 6 months old. Jaewon came home at midnight, smelling of unfamiliar alpha pheromones. My omega instincts went haywire. Where were you? I demanded. Working. I told you. You smell like another alpha. His face went pale, then red with anger. It was a business dinner with clients, Hyunwoo. You can't seriously think. But I was already spiraling, postpartum hormones and exhaustion making me irrational. Maybe you regret marking me. Maybe you want someone who isn't a mess, who doesn't have stretch marks and... Stop. His voice cracked. Just stop. I can't do this anymore. Nothing I do is right. I'm working myself to death to provide for this family, and you look at me like I'm the enemy. Then maybe you should leave. The silence after those words was deafening. I wanted to take them back immediately, but pride kept my mouth shut. Jaewon stared at me with an expression I'd never seen before, complete devastation. Fine, he whispered. If that's what you want. He packed a bag that night. Miho woke up crying as the door closed behind him, and I broke down on the nursery floor, my son in my arms, both of us sobbing. The bond in my chest felt like a rope being pulled taut, ready to snap. The divorce proceedings were clinical and cold. Lawyers, paperwork, a judge who looked at us with pity. Jaewon's family hired the best attorney money could buy. They argued that as an alpha, he could provide better stability. My lawyer countered that omegas are natural caregivers, especially for young children. In the end, the court gave me primary custody. Jaewon got weekends. The first handoff was torture. Miho was 10 months old, just starting to walk. When Jae-won reached for him, our son's face crumpled. He screamed, reaching back for me, and I saw something break in Jae-won's eyes. "He'll adjust," the family counselor had said. "Children are resilient." But 6 months later, Miho still cries. Every single time. The black car pulls up outside. My stomach drops. Through the bond one can still feel Jae-won approaching, that connection we both wish would fade but hasn't. It's weaker now, painful and raw, but still there. Still tying us together. "Okay, baby," I say, my voice shaking. "Papa's here." Miho's arms tighten around my neck. "No. Stay, mama. Please stay, mama." The doorbell rings. I carry Miho to the door, each step feeling like walking toward an execution. When I open it, Thuan stands there in his expensive suit, looking as exhausted as I feel. Our eyes meet for a brief second, and I see my own pain reflected back at me. "Hey buddy," Jae-won says softly, reaching for Miho. Our son's screams pierce the air. He clings to me desperately, his little body shaking with sobs. "Mama, mama, no go." I have to pry his fingers from my shirt. It feels like tearing out my own heart. Jae-won takes him, and Miho reaches for me over his father's shoulder, tears streaming down his red face, crying like his world is ending. Maybe it is. As they walk away, my son's cries echo in the hallway. I close the door and slide down against it, my own tears finally falling. This has to stop. But I don't know how. Friday afternoons have become my personal hell. I pack Miho's bag with trembling hands, his favorite pajamas, the blue ones with dinosaurs, extra diapers even though he's mostly potty trained now, his medicine for the cold he can't seem to shake. Each item I fold feels like a small betrayal, preparing to send my baby away. "Mama sad?" Miho asks from his spot on the floor, surrounded by toys he's barely touching. I plaster on a smile. "No baby. Mama's fine." "You excited to see Papa?" He doesn't answer. Just hugs his bunny tighter. The doorbell rings at exactly 5 o'clock. Jae-won is always punctual. I open the door, keeping my expression neutral, but the moment our eyes meet, the bond flares painfully in my chest. He looks thinner than last week, shadows under his eyes darker. "Hi," he says quietly. "Hi." I hand him the bag. Our fingers brush accidentally, and we both flinch. The touch sends electricity through the bond, a reminder of what we once had. He's been congested. The medicine is in the side pocket. Give it to him before bed. I know. I'm his father, Hyunwoo. The edge in his voice makes me bristle. I'm just making sure. That I can take care of my own son? Yeah, I got it. He runs a hand through his hair, immediately looking apologetic. Sorry. Long week. I want to ask what's wrong. The old me would have wrapped my arms around him, nuzzled into his neck, let my omega pheromones soothe his stressed alpha. Instead, I step back. Miho, Papa's here. My son appears in the doorway, sees Jae-won, and his face crumples. Here we go again. The handoff takes 15 minutes this time. 15 minutes of Miho sobbing, clinging to my legs, begging to stay. 15 minutes of Jae-won's jaw clenching tighter, his scent going sharp with frustration and hurt. 15 minutes of my heart shattering into smaller and smaller pieces. When they finally leave, Miho's cries echo down the hallway. I close the door and lean against it, breathing hard. Through the bond, I can feel Jae-won's emotions. A storm of pain, anger, and something desperate. I slam my mental walls up, trying to block it out. It doesn't really work. My best friend Sung calls an hour later. Weekend custody? Yeah. You sound awful. I'm coming over. You don't have to. Already on my way. I'm bringing soju. Sung arrives with alcohol and takeout, finding me curled on the couch in Jae-won's old hoodie that I can't bring myself to throw away. His scent has long faded, replaced by laundry detergent and my own misery. You're still wearing that? Sung asks gently. It's comfortable. It's torture. He sits beside me, opening the soju. Hyunwoo, you can't keep doing this to yourself. Doing what? Pretending you're okay. Pretending this arrangement is working. That baby cries every weekend like you're abandoning him. The court said, Sung pours us both a shot. What does your heart say? I down the soju without answering. My phone buzzes. A text from J1. He finally stopped crying. Watching cartoons now. He's okay. I should feel relieved. Instead, jealousy coils in my stomach. J1 gets to comfort him. J1 gets to make it better. I'm just the one who keeps causing the tears. Saturday morning, I wake up to my phone ringing. J1's name flashes on the screen. My heart stops. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. He pauses. Miho asked for you. Asked if he could hear your voice. Would that be okay? Something in my chest loosens and tightens simultaneously. Put him on. Mama? Miho's voice is small and scratchy. Hi, baby. Are you having fun with Papa? We make pancakes. Papa burned them. I hear J1's embarrassed laugh in the background. But they was good anyway. I miss you. I miss you too, sweetheart. But I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Be good for Papa. After we hang up, I sit staring at my phone for 20 minutes. That phone call shouldn't feel like a victory, but it does. The smallest crack in the wall between us. Sunday evening arrives too fast and too slow. I'm cleaning obsessively, trying to distract myself, when my phone rings again. J1. My stomach drops. What happened? Hyunwoo, don't panic, but his voice is strained. Miho fell at the playground. I'm taking him to the emergency room. He hit his head. The world tilts. What? How bad? Is he conscious? Which hospital? He's awake and talking, but there's a bump and I'm not taking chances. Seoul Memorial. I'll meet you there. I don't remember grabbing my keys or running to my car. I definitely don't remember the drive. All I know is suddenly I'm bursting through their doors, my Omega instincts in complete override, needing to get to my child. I smell J1 before I see him. His alpha pheromones are everywhere, thick with anxiety. He's pacing in the waiting room, phone pressed to his ear, and when he sees me, relief floods his face. He's in exam room 3. They're doing a scan now, but the doctor said, I'm already moving. A nurse tries to stop me, but one look at my face, an Omega parent in distress, makes her step aside. I burst into the exam room where Miho sits on a table, a small bandage on his forehead, tears on his cheeks. Mama! He reaches for me and I scoop him up, breathing in his scent, checking him over with shaking hands. I'm here, baby. I'm here. You're okay. Mama's got you. J1 appears in the doorway. Our eyes meet over Miho's head, and suddenly we're not angry exes playing custody games. We're just two terrified parents. I'm sorry, J1 whispers. I turned away for 1 second. He climbed too high on the structure and, kids fall, I hear myself say. It's not your fault. The doctor enters, smiling. Good news. No concussion. Just a bump. He'll be fine. You can take him home. Which home? The question falls out before I can stop it. Juan and I stare at each other. Technically, it's still his custody time. But Miho has his arms locked around my neck, and I can feel J1's reluctance to take him, to cause another scene. Maybe. J1's voice cracks. Maybe we should both stay with him tonight. Just to monitor him. At your place. I can sleep on the couch. I should say no. Should maintain boundaries. Should protect myself. Okay, I whisper instead. The apartment feels different with J1 in it again. He sits on the edge of the couch, looking out of place in his own former home. I've rearranged everything since he left. Moved furniture, changed curtains, tried to erase his presence. But his alpha scent still fills the space within minutes, mixing with mine in a way that feels too natural, too right. Miho refuses to let go of me. I carry him to his room, Juan following close behind, and we both work together to get him into pajamas. Our hands brush as we navigate around each other in the small space. Each touch sends sparks through the bond. Does it hurt, baby? I ask, gently touching near the bandage. Little bit. Miho yawns. Mama and Papa both stay? My throat tightens. Yes. We both stay tonight. Like before. J1's breath catches. I can't look at him. Like before, sweetie. Miho falls asleep between us, one small hand clutching my shirt, the other wrapped around Jaewon's finger. We sit on opposite sides of the toddler bed, watching our son breathe, making sure he's really okay. I check him every hour, Jaewon whispers. The doctor said to watch for signs of... I know. We'll take shifts. Silence stretches between us, heavy with everything unsaid. Finally, Jaewon speaks, his voice barely audible. He's been having nightmares. Every weekend. He wakes up crying for you. Pain lances through my chest. He cries for you during the week too. Wednesday nights are the worst. Jaewon's head snaps up. He does. Every single week. He asks why you can't stay. Why our family is broken. I wipe at my eyes angrily. I don't know how to explain it to him when I don't understand it myself anymore. Hyunwoo. We should let him sleep. I stand quickly, needing distance. I'll take first watch. I retreat to the living room, curling into the armchair, trying to calm my racing heart. The bond is screaming at me, confused by Jaewon's proximity, wanting what it can't have. I hear him moving around, getting blankets from the closet, settling on the couch. An hour passes. Then 2. At midnight, Jaewon appears in Miho's doorway. Your turn to sleep. He's fine. Still breathing normally. I nod, but as I pass him in the narrow hallway, I stumble. Exhaustion and stress finally catching up. Jaewon catches me instantly, his hands on my waist, steadying me. We freeze, inches apart. When's the last time you slept properly? He asks, his dark eyes searching my face. When's the last time you did? I counter, noting the deep circles under his eyes. His hands are still on my waist. His thumb moves, just slightly, an unconscious caress. The touch sends heat through my entire body, my omega instincts purring in response to his alpha presence. I can't do this, I whisper, pulling away. I can't. A crash from Miho's room. We both run. Our son is sitting up in bed, screaming. Not from pain, from terror. His eyes are open but unfocused, lost in a nightmare. Miho! I grab him, but he fights me, still trapped in whatever he's seeing. Mama gone. Papa gone. Everyone gone. We're here, buddy. We're both here. Jaewon's voice is thick with anguish. He climbs onto the bed, wrapping around both of us. Look at me. Look at Mama. We're right here. Slowly, Miho's eyes focus. He sees us both, really sees us, and his little body goes limp with relief. He buries his face in my chest, one hand reaching back for Jun, needing us both. Don't go, he sobs. Please don't go. I can't stop crying. Jaewon is shaking against my back. We hold our son between us, all three of us breaking apart. This is killing him, Jaewon's voice cracks. We're killing him. I know. I can't. He pulls back, running his hands through his hair. His alpha pheromones spike with distress. I can't keep doing this. Watching him cry. Feeling like I'm stealing him from you every weekend. The court order says I get him, but what kind of father am I if having me hurts him this much? Stop. The word comes out sharper than intended. You're a good father. Am I? Because good fathers don't make their children have nightmares. Good fathers also don't give up. His eyes meet mine, and I see the depth of his pain. What are we supposed to do, Hyunwoo? How do we fix this? I don't know. The words explode out of me. I don't know, okay? I thought time would make it easier. I thought he'd adjust. I thought the bond would fade and we could move on, but nothing is working. Nothing is getting better. It's only getting worse. Miho whimpers between us. We both immediately soften, returning our focus to him. Sure, baby. It's okay. We're not fighting. But we are. We have been. For over a year. I get Miho resettled, singing his favorite lullaby until his breathing evens out. When I turn, Thuan is sitting on the floor, head in his hands. I slide down next to him, leaving space between us. Why did we fall apart? I ask quietly. I've tried to remember where it started, but everything just blurred together. I think... He pauses, choosing words carefully. I think we stopped talking. Really talking. We were both so exhausted, so overwhelmed. My mother kept pushing, saying I was being too soft, that I needed to take control. And you were trying so hard to prove you could handle everything alone. You were never home. Because every time I was home, we fought. So I stayed at work where I felt competent, where I wasn't failing. His voice breaks. But I was failing. Just in a different way. I close my eyes. I said terrible things to you. I said terrible things too. I told you to leave. I left. His hand finds mine in the darkness, fingers intertwining. I left when I should have stayed. Should have fought for us. But I was drowning, Hyunwoo. The bond was in pain, you were in pain, I couldn't make anything right and I just broke. The bond pulses between us, responding to the physical contact. For the first time in months, it doesn't hurt. It feels like relief. I miss you, I whisper. I hate that I miss you, but I do. Every day. I miss you too. God, I miss you so much. We sit there, hands clasped, tears falling silently. In his room, Miho sleeps peacefully for the first time all weekend, somehow sensing that both his parents are near. What do we do? Jaewon asks. I look at our joined hands, then toward our son's room. We figure it out. Together. For him. Just for him. I meet his eyes. I don't know. But it's a start. The next morning, I wake to the smell of coffee and burning toast. I stumble into the kitchen to find Jaewon frantically waving a dish towel at the smoke detector while Miho giggles from his high chair. The domestic scene hits me like a physical blow. This is what I've been missing. What we've all been missing. Papa can't cook. Miho announces cheerfully, his nightmare from last night seemingly forgotten. Jaewon shoots me a sheepish look. I was trying to make breakfast. As a thank you for letting me stay. You always burn toast, I say before I can stop myself. Even before. A smile tugs at his lips. You remember. I remember everything. The words hang between us, weighted with meaning. Jaewon clears his throat, looking away first. So, I was thinking, maybe instead of me taking Miho back to my place today, I could stay here? Just for today. We could all spend time together. For Miho's sake. Make sure he's really recovered from the fall. My omega instincts leap at the suggestion. My rational brain screams warnings. Okay, I hear myself say, just for today. Just for today turns into a week. We don't plan it. It just happens. Jaewon sleeps on the couch. We take turns cooking, though I do most of it since his skills haven't improved. We develop a rhythm around each other, careful not to get too close, but no longer avoiding each other like poison. Miho transforms before our eyes. The dark circles under his eyes fade. He laughs more. He stops asking why Papa has to leave. He simply accepts that we're both here, and for a 2-year-old, that's enough. On Thursday night, I find Jaewon on the balcony, staring at the city lights. I bring him tea, settling into the chair beside him. My lawyer called today, he says quietly. Asked when I wanted to resume the custody schedule. My heart clenches. What did you tell him? I said I'd call him back. He turns to look at me. Hyunwoo, this week with Miho, with you, it's been the happiest I've been in over a year. But I don't want to assume. If you want me to go back to weekends, I don't. The words come out rushed. I don't want that. Miho needs you. Needs us both. Together. Just Miho. I grip my tea mug tighter. Don't. Don't what? Don't ask me that. Don't make me admit. I stop, breathing hard. Jaewon moves closer, kneeling in front of my chair. Admit what? That maybe this wasn't just about Miho? That maybe we gave up too fast. We were broken, Jaewon. We destroyed each other. No. We were drowning and didn't know how to ask for help. There's a difference. His hands hover near mine, not quite touching. I've been seeing a therapist. Since the divorce. Trying to understand what went wrong. That surprises me. You have? Yeah. Turns out I have some pretty serious issues with feeling inadequate. My whole life, my family expected me to be the perfect alpha. Strong, controlled, never showing weakness. When Miho was born and I felt overwhelmed, I didn't know how to admit it. So I worked more, stayed away more, because at the office I could pretend I had everything together. Tears blur my vision. I thought you didn't want us anymore. I thought you didn't need me. Every time I tried to help, you'd already handled it. You were so competent, so strong. I felt useless. And instead of talking about it, I let resentment build. I was terrified, I admit. Terrified of being a bad parent. Of proving your mother right. So I pushed myself to be perfect, to never ask for help. Even when I was falling apart. We were both idiots. A wet laugh escapes me. Yeah. We really were. Jaewon's hands finally close over mine. The bond flares to life, no longer painful but warm, like coming home after a long journey. I want to try again, he says. Not for Miho. For us. Because I never stopped loving you, Hyunwoo. Not for a single day. The bond never faded because my heart never let go. I'm scared, I whisper. What if we fall apart again? Then we fight harder this time. We talk instead of running. We go to therapy together. We choose each other every single day, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. I search his face, looking for doubt, for the cracks that will inevitably form. But all I see is determination and love and hope. I never stopped loving you either, I confess. Tried. But the bond wouldn't let me. You're still mine, Jaewon. You've always been mine. And you're mine. He pulls me into his arms, and I finally let myself break. We hold each other on that balcony, crying for everything we lost and everything we're choosing to fight for. The bond between us sings, healing from the inside out, stitching back together what we tore apart. A small voice interrupts us. Mama? Papa? Why crying? We turn to find Miho in his pajamas, clutching his bunny, looking worried. Jaewon and I exchange glances, then open our arms. Our son climbs between us, and we wrap around him, a family whole again. Happy tears, baby, I say, kissing his forehead. These are happy tears. Papa stays now? No more bye-bye. Jaewon looks at me, asking permission. I nod. Yeah, buddy. Papa stays now. No more goodbyes. Miho's whole face lights up. Forever and ever? Forever and ever, we say together. 6 months later, I watch from the kitchen as Jaewon and Miho build a blanket fort in the living room. We're still in therapy, still learning how to communicate, still working through our issues. It's not perfect. We still argue sometimes. But now we talk through it. We don't run. Jaewon catches me staring and smiles, that same smile that made me fall in love with him 4 years ago. The bond between us hums contentedly, no longer a source of pain but a reminder that we chose each other. We keep choosing each other. Mama, come help. Miho calls. I abandon the dishes, crawling into the fort with my family. In the dim light filtered through blankets, surrounded by the 2 people I love most in the world, I finally understand what forever means. It's not the absence of struggle. It's choosing to fight through it together. And we will. For all the weekends and weekdays to come. Together.